Hello and welcome Million Mom Movement community. My name is Stephanie Dawn. I'm the chair of the Million Mom Movement. And I'm joined by my council, my beautiful council, Taz Ferreira, Carmela Velarde, and Naiva Flory, all the way in Hawaii. Aloha. I put my flower in my hair for you today, Naiva. So it's Fierce Friday. This is where we come to you as a community, really, of concerned caregivers, moms, dads, aunties, uncles on a mission to really grow this movement within the Purium field. And we take this business very seriously. We love what we do. We love involving our families and our children. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Today is Business Forward. And we're going to be talking about how it is that we have worked with our families, with our Purium business, and how it's a family affair. So before we dive into that, I'd like to ask Carmela, will you read the pledge for us today?
Hello, can you hear me okay?
You're on twice, Carm.
Yes. Hang on a moment.
We can't hear you, Carm. You can't unmute. Naiva, can you make Carm a co-host? Sorry about this, you guys. We're having some technical difficulties as we're.
So you can make her co-host because you're not the host.
Oh, thanks. One moment.
Aha. Okay. We're here. Hello, everyone. Okay, yes. So to the pledge. Thank you so much, Neva. So it's with always great honor that I get to read this pledge. And everyone can find it. It could be found on our website. It could be found on our phone apps. It could be found on the boards apps. So I'm going to share. I can't share screen. I don't know what's going on. But when you go to our website, you click join, and down below is a wonderful intention that we set with our community. And this community is really built on principles, right, for the movement of many. There we go. There it is. And so you could say along with me today, and it starts with, I pledge to defend the health of myself and of my family. I pledge to choose organic foods that are minimally processed and free of man-made ingredients. I pledge to read labels and educate myself on all aspects of clean living. I understand that my actions today will positively impact the health and the environment of future generations. I am committed to sharing this movement of many. I am the Million Mom Movement. And today we really get to dig into the future generations and what this is all about and how it affects every one of us when we start with ourselves. So when we ask that the movement of many starts with themselves, then it ripples into our children's lives. It ripples into our husbands and partners' lives, which we also really want to impact. And it might not be so easy. So we give you the tools here in the Million Mom to be able to go forth with a lot of not just ammunition because we're an activism movement, but also the basis of what we're all about. So it's free of man-made ingredients, clean living, really reading the ingredients, and truly setting the intention for ourselves first. So thank you so much for being a part of our movement of many, and we want to grow. So please share this with other mamas who would love to see other mamas do it well with their children. Pass the mic back over
Beautiful. Thanks, Carm. Yeah, if you value the Million Mom movement, let your crowns know. Let your colored diamonds know. Let Dave and Amy know. We are looking to grow this movement to 1,000,000-fold, and we can't do it without you. All right. So we have a little piece that we do here every Friday called In the News. And I wanted to share my screen with you all. Hang on one second here. Okay, here we go. So I follow an organization called beyondpesticides.org, and I wanted to elevate this organization because they are doing amazing things. And one of the things that they're doing is a free seminar series called 2022 National Forum Series. And this one coming up in September 15th is free, and it's all about health. And it says here, as we face health, biodiversity, and climate crises, drastic change has never been more urgent. The purpose of this revealing and engaging forum series is to work together to chart a path for a livable and sustainable future. This seminar focusing on health is the first in a series of 3 this fall. Details for October and November seminars on biodiversity and climate respectively will be announced soon. On September 15th, we will address the problem, the dire health implications of the current dependency on pesticides and toxic chemicals, and the failure of the regulatory system to fully evaluate and control for the range of adverse effects and complexity of their interactions. The speaker is Claudia Miller, MD, Professor Emerita at the University of Texas, San Antonio. And then the solution is found in a transition to management practices that are no longer dependent on toxic inputs and respect the value of nature and works in partnership with the diversity that it offers. And the speaker is Kaipo Kekona, manager of a 12.5-acre farm site for the Ku'i'a Agricultural Education Center in the Ahupua'a of Ku'i'a on legacy lands of Keli'i Kulani, Hawaii. How'd I do? Woohoo! Oh my gosh, I was on the Big Island last year and I really was paying attention to Hawaiian words. So I love that this involves a Hawaiian leader, really, because so much is going on in the Hawaiian Islands, really as ground zero for Monsanto on all the Hawaiian Islands. So this is something that I wanted you all to know about, and you can learn more by going to beyondpesticides.org. And then the other thing that I wanted you to know about, and this is also through Beyond Pesticides, and once I get back into the chat, I can put these links into the chat for you. But the pesticide industry, God bless them. Let's send them some love, shall we? The pesticide industry has selected August as Anti-Democracy Month as it launches a month-long campaign to undermine local control over pesticides. The National Pest Management Association is encouraging members to lobby members of Congress in August to support HR 7266 to prohibit legal regulations relating to the sale, distribution, labeling, application, or use of any pesticide or device subject to state or federal regulation under the Federal Insecticide, Fungicide, and Rodenticide Act, FIFRA, or FIFRA for short. Beyond Pesticides urges you to make August Preserve Local Democracy Month. We're just turning that name right on its head by participating in actions in support of allowing communities to protect themselves from chemical exposure when state and federal regulation is inadequate. So what we know here at the Million Mom Movement is we are the answer that we've been waiting for, right? Like we need to take action to contact our representatives because the regulatory bodies just aren't doing the job. And so we're the ones who need to put on the green capes, as I like to say, and raise our voices whenever we can. So hopefully that was of interest to you. That's a organization that I have long been tuned into. And I thought you would like to know about it. So I'm just going to go ahead and put the links in the chat here for you so that you have access to those. Okay. And I love that that one lecture series is free, because who doesn't love a free lecture series on something that we care passionately about? And you can donate if you want to give them, shoot, 1 second here. You can send them money. You can become a member. Sorry, I'm trying to paste this into the chat and it's not working for me right now. And I don't know why. Oh, that's so odd. I'm so sorry. You know what I'll do? I'll put it into the, I'm not quite sure why that's happening. I'll put it into the, oh, there we go. There we go. Phew. Okay. That's a really long link. Maybe that's why I was having problems. Happy 11/11, everyone. So I'll also put these links into the Million Mom Movement official group on Facebook. And if you're not a member there, you definitely want to join that group. A lot goes down in there in support of all the different things that we're about here at the Million Mom Movement. So let's talk today about bringing our kids into the business. I want to share with you, I want you to gather around the campfire, the summer campfire here with Steph. I want to go back in time to 6 years ago when I first became a Puree and brand partner. And really, at that point, my kids were still young. I have 2 boys. They are now, my youngest will be 16 this coming week, and my eldest is 18. And so back then they were like 7, 8, and 10, like approximately 7 and 9 or 8 and 10, something like that. And so my youngest was all in. My eldest, he was a bit of a tougher sell. He's like, Mom, it's not all about superfoods, And I'm like, honey, yes, it is. I was late to the party. I was late to the health party. I was late to the superfoods party. I was, eating the standard American diet, albeit organic to the best of my ability. And it's been a huge learning curve for me. My youngest was way more, invested in what it was that I was doing. He was my label reader. He was really into the community. He loved Dave Sandoval, looked up to him. And I brought him to, the gathering that we used to do on Dave's land 3 times to Unconvention. And so we had a gas together, Zephyr and I. And then Zephyr, for those of you that don't know my Zephyr story, so Zephyr, and this is really how Fierce Friday started. Zephyr, I fed him Cheerios for the first 7 years of his life, not knowing that Cheerios were drenched in glyphosate. Because as moms, we don't know what we don't know until we know. So in 2017, we launched Biomedic, and Zephyr was having a serious week-long episode of diarrhea and serious gut dysbiosis. And I was like, what is wrong with my kid? And I ended up giving him the Biomedic for a week, and his health was restored. So that led me more deeper into understanding what's going on with glyphosate, and then educating about what's going on with glyphosate, and then sharing with more moms who don't know, who are feeding their children Cheerios. Why? Because it's easy food to give babies, because it just disintegrates in their mouth. There's no choking problems, right? So my story with Zephyr, it impacted a lot of people. Why? Because I shared it. I shared it over and over and over again. I brought Zephyr to corporate with me when we used to have healthy happy hours at corporate, and I shared the story. I shared it at regional events in Hawaii and Northern California for my team. I shared Zephyr's story over and over and over again. So Zephyr wasn't always there to share the story. And I really didn't, my kids are Waldorf kids. They did not have screens for a very long time. They had no social media, and we kept phones away from them for a very long time. So that's I totally respect families that choose that path, because that was my path with my children. And then there's other families that, the kids have phones when they're much younger and they have social media. And so we all do it differently, right? I respect everyone's path. But for me, it was really more about me sharing my story as much as I possibly could. And so I had multiple healthy happy hours at my home. And that's really how I built my business to Diamond and Green Diamond, was having healthy happy hours at my home twice a week for months, months and months and months. And so, because I was committed, I was committed to ranking up in this company, and I was committed to helping other moms navigate nutritionally what I was navigating in terms of postpartum weight gain and, just lacking that postpartum radiance and vitality that really is our birthright. Health is our birthright, you guys. And I think in the United States of America, we've really accepted that, that being unhealthy is just part of aging, or it's just part of life. And it's like, no, cancel, clear. We don't buy that here with the Million Mom Movement. That is not what we believe in. That's not what we energize. So after telling my story over and over and over again at corporate, Amy tapped me to be the chair of the council that she was forming, because she heard my passion. She heard my passion. She heard my commitment to helping other moms. I would always bring all my moms to corporate because I lived in LA at the time. And that's really, that's the origin story of how I became the chair of the Million Mom Movement. It was really because I was telling Zephyr's story over and over again. And I'll keep telling that story because, as you know, for those of you who've been around for a while, the glyphosate issue is a serious problem here in the United States and globally. And all you need to do is go back to our YouTube channel and look at the interview that I did with Carrie Gillum and the Monsanto papers, and all the time that we've devoted to glyphosate, and we'll continue to devote to glyphosate because it's an urgent issue for our time here. So the one way that I did involve my kids with those healthy happy hours is they babysat. So we lived in a condo. We'd have all these moms bringing all their kids, and I'd have my kids, who were like 8 and 10 at the time, to care for all the babies. There were so many babies. There were so many toddlers. They'd take them back into their room and they'd look after them. And we'd be out in the front room playing our videos, chatting, enrolling customers, enrolling brand partners. So that's really how I began with Purium. That's how I began to involve my children. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention to you is, and so they were in that milieu, they were listening to those presentations, a lot was transmitted through osmosis in those early days with my children. The other thing that I did for my kids that I think is super empowering for our children is I gave them money to spend at the grocery store. They had a budget, and I had to, okay what it was that they wanted to spend with their budget. And so I was helping them read labels. I was helping them to make the connection between what we were buying at the grocery store and what they were putting in their mouths at home. So that's my story. Thanks for joining me at the campfire. I'm going to pass the baton to Taz Ferreira, who is here with her children. Welcome, Kiara and Lucho. We're so happy to have you here with us today from the Million Kids Movement. Woohoo!
Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Okay, so the Million Mom Movement, this is all about, this is who we are and how we live. And we do this as a family. Like, this is how we live our every single day life. And this transforms not just us on a wealth aspect and as a health. So we teach the kids how to do this on a health level, and then on a wealth level, how to debunk the entrepreneurship, everything that we were taught how to learn. They get to learn it through the business that we've created every Friday and all of our corporate calls. So when I knew that we were talking about how we build this business with our children, what's better than having my kids here on the call with us? Let them share how we are actually building this business together. And there's something that you spoke about, Steph, that how health is our birthright. Well, how many of us have suffered in silence, who have chronic illnesses, and we don't say anything, and we say we're fine? Or we have kids who suffer from illnesses and we feel shame. We take it all upon ourselves. So now is the time to be loud and share with everyone in this community, that telling them that you have the right to feel amazing, to wake up rested. Something so simple to wake up rested is huge, and it all starts at a young age. I know for myself, growing up, I suffered from so many health issues. And because of this business, because of these health foods, my kids never have to know of any of those illnesses I suffered with. So Kiara, I wanted to have you on, right? This is my daughter, Kiara. She is 13 years old, right? Maybe you can start sharing with us a little bit how you build the Purium business with us as a family.
Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to be talking to you guys how I build a Purium business and how I integrate it with my life. So the number one thing I always do is I share the Purium business with my friends. So what I do is when I'm at camp, I bring my power shake with me, and during snack time, I'm drinking it, and I always get people coming up to me. They're like, "What are you drinking?" They're like, "Is that a green juice?" And they're giving me some weird look. They're like, "What is that?" Because they are associating the green juice with something that is not good for you and something that they don't like tasting, which I find is not at all what this is. So I'm like, this is power shake, and I'm explaining them to what this is. And then I'm asking them, do you want to try some? And as soon as they try some, their mind is blown. They're like, oh my God, this is amazing. I need to tell me more. It's amazing. And this is how I integrate it in camp. Another way I like sharing Purium with my friends is at school. So at school, I would have my desk, I would have my Purium shake, and then I would have my notebook over here. And during class, I would be drinking it, and I still get a lot of eyes looking at me like, what is that? What is she drinking? And I still share the story. I'm like, this is what it is. And I also show them how it allows me to understand and to comprehend what the teachers are saying better. I could it's better for your brain. It allows your brain to have more knowledge and all these amazing things, which is perfect for school. I also bring my Camp Eat This when I'm doing sports for volleyball or basketball, which really helps my blood cells and the red blood cells. It's amazing and also tastes amazing. I ask my friends want to try some, and that's how I do it. I want to make a community in my school. My school should feel like a community of people who want to live at their full self. Because school you have to learn, right? Because at snack, this is what I've learned. So at snack, I always find that there's so many sugary snacks. I remember one time there were churros that had so much sugar and cinnamon. I didn't understand what these teachers were feeding their children.
And we see it all the time, right?
Right. Like the teachers are like the parents at the school. They're trying to be looking over the children, and this is what they're feeding them. This is not the right thing. So this is what actually helps the kids learn and give them their nutrition so they can perform better in school.
And you bring this awareness to your friends, to your peers, and to the teachers.
Yes.
Right? Because you're letting them know. Because the teachers, we know as well, teachers always have that mug of coffee, right? They're always lugging that around, and that's not going to be helping them. They need nutrients. They need cellular nutrients to help the kids, because they're looking at the kids. It's a mere reflection. If they are having green juice, what are the kids going to do? They're going to start mirroring them and have green juice. If they're having their mug with coffee, what are the kids going to get? They're gonna go to their Starbucks and get their frappuccinos, right? We see this all the time. And we see this all the time.
We do.
So shifting it and having the kids voice what they need, right? Voice what they need and showing what actually works, right? And I've noticed what you've been saying is that tasting it is a big seller for you with your friends, right?
Right. It is. Because once it tastes good, that's the selling point. If it tastes good, you know it's good. If it tastes good, and in this case, you know it's good because you know it's inside. We know what's inside of these ingredients. We know that it's good for you, and it puts your performance to the highest capacity, which is amazing for school and for camp.
Okay, so that's one way. So there's camp, there's school, and I know there's another thing that you two, both of you, love doing. So maybe you both can share that a bit.
Right.
There we go.
Go ahead.
Oh, this is Lucho. This is my son. He is 8 years old.
Okay. I'm just a bit nervous, but okay.
I know you created something, right?
Yeah.
After always being on the Fierce Friday calls, you were like, you know what?
we should make a million kids movement. Like, because since there's a million mom movement, then why shouldn't there be a million kids movement? So I'm like, okay, I think that there should be a million kids movement, and after like 3 days, boom, it's done. Then the million kids movement is right here.
Right.
So then we get running, and then like my goal for the million kids movement is like to get the whole world and all the kids to share this movement of many. And so my goal is for the whole world to be vegan, the whole world to be like healthy, so they're gonna have an open mind and an amazing life. Because good food, real good food, like you know, good food is the best way to have an open mind. So how I like run the million kids movement, it's like when I see my friends and I see them drinking like Gatorade or eating candy or anything that has sugar. Yeah, yes, that's bad. Yeah. And I say, have you ever heard of Purium? And then they say no. And then I say, well, it's a superfood and real superfoods that help you like heal better. Like it makes you get an open mind, you know, I said before. And yeah, and then they think they say I am lying. So I'm like, really? I'm your friend, I wouldn't lie. So then when they get back home, they tell the mom, and then the mom searches up it, and then
And you give up my number.
Yeah.
And you put, he is my best networker.
Yeah.
He goes everywhere and he shares my Instagram page. He shares my phone number with everyone. Whenever he meets a child, even when you had a friend who was sick, he would say, well, what are you taking? Are you taking zinc? Are you taking biomedic? He gives them all the whole protocol that they need to feel better.
yes, but the thing is, when I say zinc, they think like the bad zinc, with like the drug zinc. Zinc. Yeah.
At a store,
Yeah. At the
not our
like,
food grade.
like the pharmacy one.
Right.
You know those ads like ba 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 ba.
Yeah.
Zinc is good for you. Go to the pharmacy and get some zinc and contact your doctor today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he is our best. He talks to everyone about this. So, Kiana, do you want to talk to us about social media?
Right. So as a teen, I feel like everyone is always glued to social media, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube. Everyone's glued to this, especially. So, so I love to share. I take this to my advantage. I share my lifestyle, share Purium on social media, which is how we also use. How we also put Million Kids Movement. We have
Be an influencer
Instagram
of
page.
health, right?
Right.
There's so many influencers out there that kids are looking up to that are spreading all kinds of quick fixes, weight loss, you know, skincare that does not work. Why not create the influencers of health for the next generation, right? Because only kids can reach other kids.
Right. So I go on Snapchat and I do my vlogs and I show them how I integrate Purium into my daily vlogs. I show them how when I went to camp 1 week.
How about
And
your morning routine?
Right. So I show them my morning routine, and when I have to like rush
Like
out of the
breakfast,
house,
yeah.
I show them how I have my power shake for breakfast, and it's super simple, super easy, and it tastes amazing, which is again the selling point. And I use all the social media platforms to get access to all these kids and all these teens that are glued to their phones.
And you know what? What you've noticed is that kids share with kids what works, right? So this is what you've been doing. Like so many kids reach out to you and they're always saying, Kiara, what do you use for your skin? What do you use for your hair? Like whenever you find a new shampoo, a new skincare, you guys are always sharing with each other.
Yes. So my skincare routine is barley grass, and everyone's like, "What products do you use? Do you like scrub your face, or what like facial things you use?" I use barley grass, and it's something you drink, and it's simple, it's easy, tastes amazing,
And works.
and it works. And it clears your skin in up to a week, and it's amazing to have clear skin because if your skin is healthy on the if your skin is healthy on the outside, it means everything is healthy on the inside. Because as you always say, if your skin is showing like pimples or something that's not clear skin, that means something is going on inside your body.
Yeah.
This is why we always take a shower on the inside. That's what we like to call it. A shower on the inside and the outside.
Absolutely. Okay. So being involved. If you can touch a little bit what Lucho was saying.
Right. So another way that I like to build the Purium business is being involved in the Million Mom movement calls like I'm doing right now. I'm sharing you our story as kids on how we do this. Because it's not just adults who are being the influencers. Kids can be the influencers too. We're trying to teach you guys because we are the next generation. And I love being involved in the Million Mom movement calls. This is how we got started with the Million Kids movement because we were so inspired on how the Million Mom movement has changed so many people's lives, including our own.
And now you're sharing it with other kids, other families. And what do you guys do on the Million Kids movement?
So a way that we love to do on the Million Kids movement is by interviewing other kids to show how their story, to see different perspectives, to see how their story and how Purium has impacted their lives. So
Or even people who don't know about Purium, right?
We love to share our story and basically sharing. I feel like sharing is the takeaway of this call. Just share your story, share Purium, share Million Kids movement, share.
Right, because like Lucho's story, if you guys don't know about his story yet, that we've been vegan for the past 14 years. So I was living a whole food lifestyle with no artificial ingredients, or so I thought. So I thought I was giving Lucho glyphosate. I was indeed, with glyphosate toxicity, all of the fake meats, not buying organic foods. This was indeed poisoning him, right? Which I had no knowledge of because I thought if I wasn't giving him, the processed foods, I was okay, but I was not okay. So it goes to show you that what you don't know, you don't know. And it happened to myself and my family. So now we go around and we share, we educate everyone. Whenever you think that you eat healthy, that you're doing the best you can, you know what? There's always another level. There's always another level to learn because you don't know everything. And the world is changing constantly. And our toxicity levels are most high. It's not how it was a couple of years ago. So now we really need to try to get as much toxins out as possible. And it starts with when we're pregnant. And if we can't do that, it starts when our kids are babies. And it's starting younger and younger. So this is why my kids go up to other kids. They share it at the beach. They share it everywhere. Oh, what you were saying at the hair salon.
Right, so I go to the hair salon, I'm getting all these hair stylists coming up to me. They're like, oh my God, your hair is so healthy. What do you use? What shampoo do you use? And then I'm showing them, this is what I use. Yeah. And this is another selling point. See, I'm telling you all these different ways to share your story, have share Purium. So you can share it at camp as kids, you can share at school, you could share at the hair salon, you can share anywhere. If you're just walking down the street, you get people coming up to ask questions. I always give your contact. I always tell them about Million Kids movement, how we're trying to change kids' lives and how we're trying to, if the kids are telling the parents something, the parents will believe their kids because the kids are the next generation. The kids are the ones who have the most knowledge.
I'm just curious, okay, you're talking about health aspect. How about the business? Because I know that you did a lot of like entrepreneurship in your school. Has a business training helped you?
It has, and I love how Purium is also like my second school. I learn different things, and even on the lunch and learn, I'm learning so many things. I'm sitting there and I'm listening in.
Takes notes. She's on all of our corporate calls. Like sometimes I can't be on the calls, and I'm like, "This is your business, baby. Go ahead, take your notes." Right? I do this for you. This is for you. This is my legacy for you. You have to know about this so you can share to future generations. The kids that are coming up today, they are more intelligent than we can ever be. This is 13. At 13, I was legit a baby. I didn't know anything. But today's world, 13, they know so much. So isn't it important that we educate them the right way? We show them the right things they need in their lives so they can go out to their peers and share this to their kids and their friends and families and everyone around them. Because imagine one green juice. This is not just one green juice. This green juice will change lives. This will change generations. This will change the way they think, their mindset about every single thing in their life. Well, thank you. Do you have anything else to say? Bring it with you. She brings it everywhere with her. She samples. She meets everyone samples. So taste is huge for you. Is there anything else that we want to leave anyone else with before?
I just
So
wanted
good.
sorry. I just wanted to say thank you to the Million Mom Movement for being like my second school and showing me how many other things there are in the world and how many other possibilities there are in the world, how many different people there are in the world. And I also love the lunch and learns. Like those are amazing. You guys can check those out. I think they're on like the Million Mom website.
Yeah.
They're amazing. I'm gonna watch them.
Back to you, Steph.
Thank you, Kiana. You're such an angel. You're such a gorgeous product of your beautiful mother. And you too, Lucio. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I loved how Lucio shared about how people didn't, his friends didn't believe him, right? And, Million Mom Movement field community, like how many people do you have in your life that can't fathom just how toxic our food is? It's not specific to kids, Lucio. Adults are dealing with it too. But I'm so glad, Lucio, if you can hear me, that you're persevering, even when people don't believe you, because we know better. We know better. And he's just right on the money, Taz. He is just right on the money. And so are you, Kiara. God bless you all. And Leo. Right on. Okay. So let's bring on Carmela, amazing mother of two beautiful humans. Welcome, Carm. I'm so glad that you're going to share about how you bring your children into your purine business.
Thank you so much. What a beautiful call so far. I just feel the light emanating, with these kids and with our stories. So, okay, so this is a business call as well as a health call. So please, families, don't make your kids your reason not to do it or your excuse not to do it. Make it your reason to do it, please. And I hear this from moms who say, I'm too busy because I have my kids. And I said, no, you are an incredible role model already. I'm sharing this with you because you already are. And, this is where you have to inspire and empower other families. Okay, so for me, I'm going to take you back as for how we're involving our kids. Well, I was a Million Mom kid, and I was actually a Million Mom grandkid. So my grandparents in the Philippines, they started me out, and I'm a massage therapist for 22 years, and I've been hosting cleanses in my wellness center that I had with my mom for 7 years in Manhattan. So my grandparents taught me herbal medicine, natural food, organic plant-based. We had gardens of foods that we ate from in the morning in the Philippines. That's just how we lived. And no processed foods. It was always meals made. So we grew up, and everyone always complimented my skin. I said, it's my food. It's my food. It's my food. And so my mom and I, when we opened up a wellness center, we actually hosted organic food cleanses. And that's when it began. I did not know about Purium at that time. So I am a Million Mom kid, as well as having kids. So I found about Purium through my postpartum story. And that was really how I catapulted into really finding other moms, because my story was postpartum and all the deficiency syndromes that came into play. So my children are 9, my son, and my daughter's 12, and they're both in camp right now. We're in our last week of summer. So I put together a short video to share a little bit over the years what we just came up with. And this was even pre-social media a little bit, but we have videos. And how I involved them was I did a lot of in-person events, lots of them. I love networking. I love wellness fairs, healthy happy hours. I do meetups. And let me just share with you and you'll see for yourself. Okay.
Spirulina capsule,
Yeah.
1 biomedic,
Mm-hmm.
and 2.5 super amino 23.
Okay, good. What about you, Neil? Do you know what you're eating?
I got this many pills. It's not for the biomedic because the biomedic is a meal.
Yeah. And do you like that shake?
Yeah.
Yeah, why?
Because two.
Well, why do you like taking it? You always asking for it.
When my tummy is happy, I'm happy.
I was want to know mom to start with pre-plan before we go right into nutrition.
Look at all these goodies. Okay. Stop that there. Well, because they couldn't be here, I wanted to at least show you some images. And now on to how we build business together, right? I think I don't want to reiterate too much of what you guys have shared. We definitely share it with our independent families and friends. We have play dates. Now, my house is always every weekend with a play date or a sleepover, and I intentionally do that. It's my way of saying, sure, bring them all here. I want to not only get to know them, I want to get to know the mom. And before I invite them, I say, what are their diet restrictions? How do they eat? Do you know how many children that my daughter and son have invited over that have insulin injections and they have type 2 diabetes? And they're not even in high school. And so we get to have conversations. I do a lot of and I was going through my back office, seeing how many people I've enrolled. You guys have to get to know these numbers. I have over 2,000 personally customers and brand partners included, 36 brand partners and over 2,300 customers and partners. Now, this is not just through the ULT or a Core 4. This is through a shake. It's through introducing the lifestyle. How many of them continue to create residual income for me and my family? And I say, kids, every time we expose them to our home, you are sharing our business. Whenever you bring them in to our whole food, plant-based lifestyle, you are now opening up that kid's mind in a way where they have never seen this before. And I'm very strict, of course, and I want the kids to bake at my house. I want them to cook. But what ingredients do we have versus, and does it taste good? So all of those things, I have a snack cabinet that I lock. So I know what exactly the timing of things, and I know what they're eating and when, because the meals are where the most nutrition should be. If they want a snack, fruits and vegetables are always on hand, but any other snacks that might be like Siete brands or like chips, things like this, they're in a cabinet locked because there's a time and a place for it. Again, this is just how I want the Million Mom Movement community to just see that you can live without having too many restrictions, but it's really, you are the alpha as a parent. And often kids are the alpha in other households, and that's just not okay. And when we involve them in our business, we are teaching every day swaps. So now I want to get to more of the business side, because what I love, I did involve my kids in the YouTube channel, the Sad to Rad. I really wanted them to talk about lifestyle education, because to me, I'm a holistic practitioner before I was a nutrition focused therapist. So me, I'm the body. I'm like the physical body, you know, like strength and movement medicine, sleep medicine. Like this is all a part of my children in my life. And so we're doing a local quarterly event. It's starting now in the fall, and it's where I was inspired by my colleagues and brand partners who are teaching children different modalities and things, as well as the event being for adults. So we take the kids separately and we give them little portals of holistic education. And it's an 20-acre organic farm with 14 horses. And so this is also part of my Million Mom Movement branding, is local quarterly events. And so we're building community that way. And I'm really, really excited about it. And then the wealth part. So my kids are 9 and 12. So they're just getting more into like having access to having their own social media. I don't want them too much into it yet. My son doesn't have a phone, in other words, but this is my daughter. She started her business. She's an entrepreneur. And she launched it this past weekend at a very conscious academy that teaches progressive education, where there's no teachers, they're guides. It's a global school, in which case I was prospecting. I was definitely sharing, because I was not allowed to talk about her business when I was there. So I was like, okay, what am I going to do? I'm going to network. So I always look at every event where there's kids. This is a kids business fair. I had the opportunity to meet so many wonderful people during this event. And this is where you can take the time as a parent to truly strategically, intentionally use your time. And I mean, I look at my calendar and how can I put in events and things with my kids where I can go to conscious communities and continue to show them really like, what does a healthy, beautiful family look like? And how do I bring them in my home? That means you have to create relationships. Like it's a whole thing. So this is where you get to bring your yellow out. If you don't have a lot of yellow, you bring it out. And on social media, I mean, this is an opportunity. Oh my gosh, the reels, 15 seconds, 30, 60 seconds. You can show a lot and it's like a commercial. So really you want to utilize little clips, and how I'm teaching my team to really share your lifestyle is take lots of clips and put it in a folder that's specific to Million Mom or the Pure in Business, and make sure that you are able to then intentionally put together something where you're teaching. So, and my son is really into saving money. He's very conscious, because when I teach him about ranking and what I'm working towards, I teach them, mommy's working this month on this rank, I need this amount, and I have my board up and they know what and I get to cross it out and we get to celebrate together. So if you're not celebrating in network marketing, your wins with your family, they don't know what you're pouring your heart and time out to. I created this new office space. I feel really energetically feng shui well with it. And I feel like I'm like in this position to run crown, right? Like you have to set yourself up in your family to let them know you are here for business. There's a time that I'm doing this. And really, I bless all of you and your businesses and your ideas for your family, because we are definitely doing this for them, 100% doing this for them. And we always teach that with network marketing, with this business model, you can pass this down to your children, as in like they can take it over as a business. So why not set them up as entrepreneurs in this day in society's age? We need to. Thank you. I pass the word.
Beautiful, Carm. Beautiful. So great. Oh, wow. This has been rich. Yeah. Lots of love in the chat for you, Taz and Carm, right on, and your beautiful children and the ways in which you're parenting them and really teaching them about entrepreneurialism and health. You know, they are the next generation of light bringers on this planet. And so I want to bring in Naeva Flory to close us out here, because she is a queen of doing all the above, bringing her kids into her social media. Her reels are incredible. If you're not following her on Instagram, you definitely want to be following her. She's super, super good at her social media. So welcome, Naeva. I'm so glad that you can chime in here.
Thank you so much. So yeah, I'm right in the middle of mom life. I just dropped my sons off at school and I'm here in my car on my way home. So just wanted to tune in, and I love everything that you shared, Taz and Carm and Kiara and Lucho. Amazing, amazing presentation today. And I started really passionate about the Million Mom movement when I started with Purium almost 8 years ago. And it was because I was postpartum with Kainoa. I was 4 months postpartum, and it was literally saving me. And I just started to share this with the other moms in my community. So first of all, I started to think, like, who are the other moms in my community? Who are the other postpartum moms in my community? Who else, is in the same situation as me right now and needing this extra nutrition? So that's how I started. And I right away locked arms with the Million Mom movement. Like, the Million Mom movement was on every hashtag. And through that, I developed my own hashtag, which is I built my business with my baby on my hip. And that's actually what happened. And so I started with that early on. I knew that's exactly what I was going to do. And so I started to tag every single post that was business forward, with my kids eating their vegetables, eating their power shake, whatever it was. So when I was a couple months into this business, Kainoa was 2 months old, and I was drinking a power shake and breastfeeding. And he, like all babies, he's reaching for the power shake, wanting it because they want what we do. They do what we do. And so, at first I was like, well, I don't know, I don't know about this. And then as I started to think about it, I was like, actually, this is better than any other baby food out there. And why wouldn't I share this with my son? And on another note, small babies can't chew vegetables. They can't eat salad. And this was a way that I could get vegetables into my very, very small baby. And side note, he loved it. I gave him one sip of my power shake, and I never could drink a power shake in front of him in peace unless I shared with him, because he would scream. He'd throw a baby tantrum. He loved it that much. And so I share that with other moms that are struggling to get their kids to eat vegetables, or they're struggling to get proper nutrition into their kids, because it is hard. And sometimes, the battle is real. As moms, we know the battle is real. Having the broccoli left on the plate at the end of dinner and being like, you have to eat that piece of broccoli before you can XYZ, right? Before it's time, then we have to take a bath, then we got to have dessert, whatever the thing is. And so having this really easy solution of like, okay, have your dinner and have a power shake with it. And they're like, I get a power shake, and they're excited and they love it. And oh my gosh, it's the biggest mom win ever. So share that with your mom friends. Let them know that there's this really easy solution. And something that I did early on, because Kainoa would literally not let me drink a power shake in front of him, I would take little video clips and put it in my stories of me making a shake and him coming up to me, like reaching for it and wanting it, and me making him his own little sippy cup and giving it to him, and how much he loved it. Sometimes, a couple times, I have some video clips where I actually gave him my shake to have a sip of it, and he wouldn't give it back. He ran down the hall with it and was hiding with my shake and didn't want to hand the shake back. I'd be like, give mommy her shake back. He'd be like, nope, it's mine. Nope, make your own, mom. He was like two, maybe one or two by then, starting to talk. And so, the kids love it. And showing people that on your social media is so helpful, because then people know that you're not just shouting from the rooftop something that isn't true. They can see it. They can see the proof that the kids really are crying for this kind of nutrition. They really do love it. And so, yeah, like Carmela said, take those little video clips, compile those videos. I'm actually considering making a fun reel with Kainoa when he was like 9 months old up until now. So he'll like grow up in that 15-second reel drinking power shake throughout the whole thing. So I'm still working on finding all my clips for that, but just think about those fun ideas of how we can share this message of how healthy this is, and how it helps our kids to grow healthy and strong, and how it empowers us as moms to be able to have a solution and something healthy to share with our kids. So I love using social media as a platform, especially as a busy, busy mom, because, having happy hours is really fun. And I've done a ton of them, but it does take a little bit of extra time and preparation and getting everything ready. And social media, you can hop on and just do it in that moment, even if you have 5 minutes. Okay, I'll tell you a quick story. 2 days ago, I was literally running out the door to take my kids to school. And I was like, okay, I really wanted to share my morning routine. And so I literally turned on my stories. I, hit the record button, and I just made my coffee shake in 2 minutes in front of everybody and said, you know what, you guys, I'm running to school. I'm super late. I don't have time for breakfast. The kids ate, they're on their way to the car. I need to have something to fuel myself, and I'm going to make this protein coffee in less than 2 minutes, and I'm going to take you with me. So I literally just made a little story about it. And I had a ton of people that I've shared with in the past and new people that were curious because they're like, what? You have a coffee protein? I need to try that. I've never thought about that. How incredible. Does it give you the jitters? No, because it has protein. So it opened up conversation. So don't be shy in those quick mom moments to just take a quick video clip or turn on your stories and take that clip to share with others, because people are watching and they're inspired by everything that you do. So I'll pass it back to you, Stephanie, because we all know that we can go on and on with our mom life hacks and all the fun that we have in this business, but we have a few more things to cover. So back to you,
Yeah,
Stephanie.
we do. Thank you so much. I'm glad you're able to join and contribute this morning. Hashtag mom life. Well, we have another hashtag for you, and Carmela's going to come back on to share about that. And actually, Naiva, you might have some more info to add to. So go ahead, Carm.
Yes, thank you. And I'm so excited about it, actually. And this is an initiative that we had proposed when I was in the corporate office with Amy Vetter. And I was thinking, we were talking about social media, how to involve the kids, exactly this topic. And I said, well, what if we were to have a hashtag that was PHP Kids? Kids could get also points. And this is where I'm kind of unclear about the details, but it was approved. And therefore, if kids want to create their own live submissions, it's just the same way as lives would go. It's a hashtag for kids, PHP Kids. And there it goes. And Naiva, how does it work as far as points for us as partners, say, as the parents to these children?
Yeah, for sure. So PHP Kids, there's no incentive involved with that, but it's a hashtag where we can find where the Purium kids are sharing. And of course, if we're sharing as parents, we're sharing our kids, we can use that hashtag. So make sure you also use the PHP Live 2022 if you're going to upload a live. But the PHP Kids can be pictures of your kids drinking a shake or video, reel submissions. And through that hashtag, I'll be able to repost your kids on our Million Mom Movement platform, and possibly even on the Million Kids platform. Taz can repost some of your children as well. So this will just help us to find those posts. So please use this hashtag. And if it's a video, make sure you also use the PHP Live so that you can submit it for the points.
Yay, right on. Thanks, Carm. Thanks, Naiva. All right, our final segment, our call to action. As many of you know, we are using Instagram as our main place of activism to address the toxic food that's being sold every single day in the United States and beyond. So Naiva, what do you got for us today? What are we doing this week?
Yeah, for sure. So today we are going to cover Quaker oats, you guys. All 36 brands of Quaker oats, everything made with Quaker oats contains high levels of glyphosate. So I'm going to try to share my screen here. Give me just a minute. I think I'm sharing my screen. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to open up this page. So this is the detoxproject.org, and this is a list that we've been going down. So we've covered the first 4 at the top of this list. So now we're on to number 5, Quaker oats. You can see that a lot of it even has a non-GMO label, and it still has over 500 parts per billion. And if you go down this list, there's several Quaker oats things. And I saw that on one of the articles, it said I think it was, I'm forgetting who presented it, but somebody had said that there's all 36 brands contain glyphosate. So I'm going over to the Quaker actually has a page on Instagram. So I invite you to right now go over to Instagram, go to the Quaker page, and find any of their oat-based products. So this oatmeal squares would be a great one. Anything that contains, I commented through the Million Mom Movement, I commented on this oat flour. So you can see right here a sample of what we want you to say. I said, are you aware of the toxic residue of glyphosate in your oats? What are you doing to remove this toxic ingredient from your oat-based products? So, put it in your own words, but go and comment on some of the images that contain any Quaker Oats products. especially, the quick oats, the oat flour. Right here we have, some different options. So just go to this page,
Cool.
find a post that resonates with you, and share your voice.
Yep, right on. Thank you so much, Naiva. This was a call to action that we got from the Detox Project's founder, Henry Rollins. You can go back to Fierce Friday about a month or so ago and watch that. If you haven't seen that, this is where we're starting to work in concert with Henry Rollins. And Allison asked for that list. So go to your upline colored diamond to get that list. You can also find it in the Million Mom Movement official. That whole document is from February of this year, The Poison in Our Daily Bread. So this is a massive teaching tool for the whole field. I recommend printing it out, getting it laminated, or putting it into some plastic sleeves and teaching about it. And, here's my wish for you all, is that my legacy for you all is that you all become activists, you all raise your voices, and that you all take action to elevate the understanding of the toxins that are in our food and how we have the solution. Next week, it's the MMM goes back to school. We're going to be sharing with you all about our our favorite products, our favorite packs that can support the health of your family. Thank you so much for being with us today. We're so grateful to you. Have a blessed weekend and go elevate your voices, go live, share what you've learned today. God bless. Bye-bye.